You brought up to me before we got on, you wanted to talk about KD. What's going on with this?
Oh, man. Well, that was part of the MJ and LeBron thing.
Yeah.
The whole argument about KD is he better than LeBron? Is he better for the NBA
Not
than
even
LeBron?
in the discussion.
Okay.
For me, he's not.
Okay, well, then there's not much to talk about.
You said you wanted to talk about KD and his 5 years and retiring.
Well, yeah, he came out and said he could see himself retiring at 35.
Yeah.
And that's another thing, like, why LeBron is so polarizing and scrutinized that if LeBron came out and said, I want to retire at 35, it'd be, he can't be better than MJ. He can't be better. He's soft. He can't compete.
Yeah.
But KD leaves a team he had beat to go to them, joins the best team in the NBA just to beat LeBron, and we're talking about, is he really better than LeBron?
Mm-hmm. The NBA is softer now than it was when Jordan played, though. That's 100% true. It's so much softer.
But softer how?
I miss the days where the Pistons and the Bulls and the Lakers, everybody just go at it. You know, Jordan and Isaiah Thomas and Bill Laimbeer, that was good basketball. Rodman and Malone killing each other down low on the block. That's good basketball. That's how basketball's meant to be played.
Have you ever?
They call foul on everything now.
Have you ever gone back and watched? Go back and watch that. Remember that Blazers-Lakers game when the Lakers were down 13 in 2000? I think it was 2000. And the Lakers were down 13, and they came back, and Kobe threw that lob to Shaq.
Yeah.
And if you go back and watch that game, and then come back and tell me that basketball was better back then.
All right. That's my research. I got a research project.
Throw it into Shaq and 8 guys in the paint and throw it at the rim. Like, that was some trash basketball.
Oh, man. All right, so this struck me as interesting this week. Moving on. This kid from De La Salle, I think his name is Tyrell something. Yeah. Tyrell Terry. He's the number 2 recruit in Minnesota behind the kid from Rochester who's got all these big offers. He decides to go to Stanford instead of the Gophers. It's happened before. You did it back in your day. You chose Wisconsin over Minnesota. Why does this keep happening? And what's it going to take for Pitino to keep guys here?
Oh, man. I haven't seen the kid play. I've heard. I saw his video yesterday. I thought
he's solid.
I thought it was kind of cool the way he committed.
Yeah.
And he looks like a good player.
He got like a pretty good production on that Twitter video. Somebody hooked him up with a decent video. I hope more kids do stuff like that because it was pretty unique.
It was very cool. I texted my friend and I was like, man, this is how kids are committing these days. Yeah. And I was just like, I wish I had the juice like that back then. But
obviously, we welcome anybody who wants to continue to commit on Care 11 despite all the Quinn Carroll backlash, which was absolutely ridiculous. Don't at me about it. I'm over it. But it's still ridiculous that it's just a bunch of, whiny Gopher fans who have been so burned over the years that they just can't get over themselves. Everything's about them. You can't just be happy for a kid going to the right school for him. Right. He's going to Notre Dame. I'm sorry, the Gophers are not Notre Dame. Get over yourself.
Yeah,
it's not about staying home. And you made the right decision for yourself. You went to Wisconsin and it worked out just fine for you.
The Gophers have a knack for kind of messing up good situations since we've been 9 years old. I remember even when I was in school, they had Trevor Mbakwe, Ralph Sampson,
yep.
Al Nolan, a stacked team.
Yep.
And it just Blake Hoffarber, and it just seems like something always goes wrong.
For sure.
So it's hard for a kid from Minnesota to kind of get behind that and be like, oh, I want to go here, and this is where I want to play. When you have all these other great options, it just, like you said, it just doesn't make sense.
I just think Minnesota fans should be happy for this kid from De La Salle for going to Stanford. It's a great school. He's going to get a great education. He's going to play in a great conference. He can play some good basketball. And how about we just root for kids from Minnesota who are going to go do big things instead of it being like, if you don't go to the Gophers, we're against you now. Mm-hmm. I hate that mentality.
It is. It's a terrible mentality. I mean, these kids are, for one, 17, 18-year-old kids, and, it's a huge decision for them. So definitely should support them. But I understand it, though. I understand the frustration when you have the only D1 basketball program in your state, in a state with a good amount of talent.
Great amount of talent.
And
every year.
Every year there's a pretty good amount of talent. I'm pretty sure it's the only.
Terry and Hurt are both top 100 guys.
Are they?
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure the Gophers are the only team in a Power 6 conference with one D1 basketball program in the state.
I think that's true.
And so for that to be the case and to not be able to recruit in your state, I understand the frustration.
But they seem to do such a good job being able to bring Omersa Thomas in, bring in Oturu in, They bring Kalsher in. So you bring 3 of the top guys from last year's class in, which is great, a great step it seemed like. But then to keep missing in 2019, it just seems like there's no progress ever being made. It's 1 step forward, 2 steps back every year with the Gophers.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, part of that, the recruiting process is always the production on the court and the winning and the culture. And, you know, like I said, they were supposed to finish 3rd, in the Big Ten last year by a lot of people.
Injuries, though.
Injuries.
He got decimated.
But, you know, and
Reggie Lynch is gross. So.
Yeah, in that whole situation. But it's just, it seems like that's always the case. And it's weird. Like I said, there's been quite a few teams in the past 10, 15 years that were really good teams. And, you know, they just can't seem to make it work. Similar to the Timberwolves, honestly.
Yeah, and I'm not taking anything away from the Gophers. I think Oturu is going to go in there and do a great job. I think he has tons of potential to be really talented. Love the kid. He's so much fun to be around. Great interview, great kid, very talented, and I think he's going to do some big things. And obviously, Amir Coffey's very talented. He's going to be back. So, you know, and you get the kid Curry who got hurt. I think he was showing signs of promise as a freshman. He comes back. You get Jordan back, and he had a huge year this year. So, I mean, there's talent there.
I'm a huge fan of Dupree McBrayer.
I'm not taking away things from the Gophers. I'm just saying, like, when you have guys in the top 100 here in the state, you got to keep these guys home. You got to figure ways to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. But like you said, not a knock on the. They still do have a ton of talent. But even, you know, you get bad luck. You get a big recruit like Jarvis Johnson, and then he has the misfortune that he's had. And
that's true.
It's, you know, so it's not all. Some of it's been uncontrollable bad luck, but it's just weird how it always happens that way.
Now you're a big Vikings fan, and you're already geeking out in its OTAs. Why are you like every other person from here? Why do we care about OTAs? Well, I don't care at all about this.
Remember, I just said I can understand why Gophers fans have this, you know, this kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Help me out.
Fervor?
It's fervor, sure, yeah. Or just
passion?
Maybe entitlement almost.
Yeah.
And, I get it. I feel like every year I think the Vikings are going 14-2, sometimes with good reason.
But what's wrong with Vikings fans? You always set the bar way too high, and then we get crushed.
100%. But that's Minnesota fans in general.
I guess.
I hate on it, and then but I'm the same way, so I get it.
So you're already excited, and it's just OTAs. You're watching Cousin throwing passes to Diggs and Thielen, and you're thinking, this is the year, man.
Kirk C. I told you I went to that golf benefit, and Aaron Rodgers is there every year, and I'm pretty sure, you know, Aaron... He's a great guy. I'm pretty sure he does not like me anymore because every time I see him, I think I have a little too much to drink and tell him that either Case Keenum or Kirk Cousins is better than him.
Oh, my God. That's far-fetched, bro.
I think I wore a Tom Brady jersey last time I was around him. I don't even like Brady. So, it wasn't. Yeah, so I don't think he likes me too much anymore. But.
I'm just not going to get excited about this Vikings team until I start seeing what Cousins can do under center for this team. Okay, I think he got paid. I don't think he deserved to get paid as much as he did. You know, he was the best quarterback on the market. I would have rather stuck with Case Keenum, personally.
What?
That's just me, man.
What?
Look at his history when it comes to fumbling. He does Cousins.
Oh, you're going to knock him for that? He's 27-13, 4,000 yards every year.
He doesn't have a winning record.
He's never had a good team.
Not like those Washington teams were crap, though.
They weren't good. 1 year,
he doesn't have a defense like the Vikings have.
2 years they had like defenses in the bottom 5 of the league, didn't they?
Yeah.
And didn't he take one of those teams to the playoffs? Did he win the NFC East?
Yeah. I don't know if the defense was that bad that year, though. I don't know. I don't have the stats in front of me. All I'm saying is I'm not going to get excited for this Vikings team until at least halfway through the season, until I see what actually Kirk Cousins can do, if he can stay healthy, if he can protect the football, and if this team can put it together. I mean, there's still a lot of question marks on this team. Yeah, the defense is good, okay? But this offensive line, I mean, they were good at times last year, but can they put it together for a whole season? Can they protect Cousins, who can't move around like Keenum can? Because Keenum did so much for that offensive line to make him look good last year, ducking and dodging out of tackles. How many times did you see him? That escapability of Keenum, Cousins doesn't have that, man.
Well, what about the new coach? Who's the new offensive coordinator?
DeFilippo.
He's like a quarterback whisperer, isn't he?
I mean, he got Foles to win a title.
Foles, they turned Carson Wentz into who was the first guy? He was with somebody else too.
Carson Wentz was already good. I'll give him props for what he did with Foles, because I don't think anybody saw that coming.
Carson Wentz into into an MVP really if he doesn't get hurt in 1 year.
You were drinking the Kool-Aid so
Was Carson
hard.
Wentz not going to win the MVP last year?
He was.
If he didn't get hurt?
Yeah, he was going to win.
All right, well, so, I mean, obviously there's talent there, but...
Let's talk again halfway through the season. We'll see what's going on.
Listen, you give any...
This aging Vikings defense.
You give any... Aging. you give any top 15 quarterback in the NFL a top 5, top 10 defense 90% of the time, they're going to be good. A la Tom Brady.
Two injuries away from not making the playoffs.
Well, okay, that's any NFL team, but Tom Brady wouldn't be as good as he was if he didn't have a top 10 defense every year.
Oh gosh, I don't know about all right. That's a whole other thing that we're not going to get sucked down the wormhole. We'll save that for a different show.
Did Tom Brady not have 6 Hall of Famers on his defense his first 3 Super Bowls?
He did, but what about last year?
His numbers weren't better. Last year, their defense was top 10 in scoring.
They finished the year like that, but how about in the beginning of the year when they were absolutely atrocious and Brady was carrying them
for 3 games?
Oh my gosh.
They were 2-2. He wasn't carrying them anywhere.
All right,
they were 2-2.
We got to do the big butt segment before we move on to talk to Carson, who once again I'm very excited to talk about. Do you have a big butt for us to kick us off?
You started.
I'll start it. Okay, so I've made no. I haven't hid this from anybody, but I like video games. I'll play video games. My fiance doesn't like that I like video games. Mm-hmm. Takes away from our alone time and our couples time.
Jeez.
I know.
You're sleeping on the couch,
yeah,
man.
I know, man.
Chill out.
Yeah, I'm pulling back the veil. But so they announced today that Super Smash Brothers got a new Super Smash Brothers Ultimate coming out. And hey, I loved Super Smash Brothers, but we don't need Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. Sometimes, can we just leave good things at good things? Why do we have to keep, trying to make money off of something that was successful before? Sometimes classics should just remain classics. It's like the movie argument. Nothing upsets me more than when you keep going back to the well just to make money. Let it live on its own.
I agree.
Let it live.
I agree. That's like a 90s baby millennial thing seems to be. They got all
Let me remember it for what it was on the N64 and how beautiful that game was. I don't care about all the different characters they're putting in. Stupid.
Well, in defense, I think you should give it a chance because you also said Deadpool 2 was not going to be good. So maybe you need to give the...
and Fortnite. Yeah. Brandon, our producer, is reminding me that I was wrong about that one too. I will say though, Hereditary, the movie, is scarier than hell. You got to go see that movie.
Hereditary, the movie.
Yeah. The movie that just came out with Toni Collette, Hereditary, 100% worth seeing in theaters. It is terrifying.
You know what? I have not been to a movie theater in about a year. And
go to Willow Creek. It's actually awesome now.
I remember. Okay, I'll check Willow Creek out. But you know what? I also don't take your movie suggestions because you made me watch Predator in the basement when we were 12 years old. And I couldn't
you were terrified.
You
were scared from Predator. Predator's a classic too.
Predator is trash.
Our former governor is in that movie.
Who?
Jesse Ventura.
He's in that movie?
I don't got time to bleed. Yeah, baby. That's exactly what he sounded like too.
That was a terrible movie.
No, I disagree. All right, what's your prediction or what's your big butt?
All right, I love being on this show.
Yeah,
but you have had some horrible takes today.
If you agree with Jordan, let us know on Twitter because I feel like I've been on point all day.
Oh man, I
feel like I'm always on point.
We're gonna get to that Brady.
I like to play a little bit of devil's advocates every now and then, but I feel like for the most part I've been on point. Let's take a break. We'll talk to Carson after this.
Sup, guys? Have you had a hard time finding a stylist who can cut your hair just right? Come see me, Heather Bates, at Salon Concepts in St. Louis Park. Specializing in men's hair, I can guarantee you'll walk out with a great haircut you'll love, plus a free beer during your visit. It's easy to book online at salonconcepts.com. Mention the Shaver Souhan podcast and I'll give you $5 off.
All right, back now with Carson Shanks, fresh off of a Final Four appearance with Loyola, 7-footer out of Prior Lake. Carson, first and foremost, you got to settle this once and for all for Jordan and I. LeBron James or Michael Jordan? I'm sorry to put you on the spot right out of the gates, but you got to settle it for us.
Right off the bat, you asked the toughest question you're going to ask. Man, it's really tough for me. I mean, I'm going to say Michael Jordan.
Thank you.
But LeBron continues to do things that we've never seen in basketball. So, I mean, if he can I don't know. If he can keep this going for a few more years, I think there's going to be a legitimate gripe that he's going to top MJ. But for right now, I got to pay attention to the 6 rings and go with MJ.
So
thank you. I agree with you though that, and I said this to Jordan, the legacy continues to be written. So I will give you that. But like you said, right now it's MJ.
So 6 rings is your primary argument.
Oh my gosh, here we go again.
I got it.
I think I know where you're going to go with this, but yeah. So that's the main thing I'm looking at. Yeah.
So if LeBron wins 5, is LeBron better?